Alzheimer's. Slow your roll. Slow your roll, Alzheimer's. What do I mean by slow your roll? Well, people say that Father Time is undefeated. That means you can do things to try to revitalize yourself, to try to maintain yourself. You can do workouts. You can adjust your diet, adjust your nutrition. You can cut back on your lifestyle, maybe not party as much, maybe get more rest, maybe reduce your stress. Think about a job change. Think about some of those friends that may be stressing you out. So you can do things to slow down Father Time. Live a more fulfilling life. Slow down some of those gray hairs, what have you. You can slow down some of the weight gain. You might be able to do some things that knock off some of the pounds. So you can slow down Father Time, but Father Time is undefeated. Okay? So it's really a matter of what you do with your time, because Father Time is undefeated. That means time will pass. It will go on. And so when I say Alzheimer's, slow your roll, what I'm really saying is Alzheimer's is also undefeated. And now that's a debatable statement. It's debatable. Some people may argue with me. Just like with cancer, some people have beaten cancer. Okay. So some people may say, well, Alzheimer's, next on the list, next one to be defeated. But if you've dealt with a loved one that has Alzheimer's or dementia, as I have for the better part of a decade now, and if you know friends or other family that have dealt with loved ones that have had Alzheimer's, you know that Alzheimer's is undefeated. And so, just like they say, if you have a star football player and you say, well, we know we can't shut this person down. We're not going to be able to shut down Josh Allen, or we're not going to be able to shut down Justin Jefferson, or you can say we're not going to be able to shut down Henry, the running back. So they say, well, we're not going to be able to shut them down. We just hope to contain them, right? So now with Alzheimer's, although Alzheimer's is undefeated, and although generally speaking we're not going to be able to shut it down, we want to contain it. So when I say slow your roll, I mean slow down Alzheimer's. And so what I've noticed is a lot of us that are caring for Alzheimer's family members, we experience frustration. We may experience some depression. Okay, especially once we accept the fact that it's incurable. After we've gone to the doctor's visits, after we visited the neurologist, after we've tried numerous medications, after we've been prescribed counseling and we've gone through counseling sessions, after we visited with primary care physicians and we've gotten some blank stares, we've gotten some creativity, we've gotten some trial and error, and it has all failed. The one thing that we generally have been able to grasp onto is the fact that, okay, well, if we're not going to be able to conquer this, then we want to contain it, i.e., we want to slow it down. All right. And so what I'm going to offer to you guys is that your goal really, eventually, whether you realize it sooner or later, your goal really is going to be to contain that Alzheimer's. Okay. We really just want to slow it down. And the thing is, the Alzheimer's can progress slowly, progress fast, it can progress rapidly, depending upon various factors. And so I really have learned that we really just want to try to slow it down. And so we have to think about what can we do to slow down that Alzheimer's. And so if we look at the big picture for Alzheimer's, people have died from Alzheimer's. Okay? People have died gradually. People have died rapidly. But Alzheimer's has been attributed for the death of many people. And the thing is, people on the outside, well, they say, well, Alzheimer's is just an issue with their memory. Okay? But when we think about memory, a lot of what we do in our daily travels is based upon our memory. It's based upon our processing. Okay, some of us take for granted the fact that, okay, if we're trying to eat something, we chew it up enough, and then we go to swallow it. Okay, we push it down, and eventually we swallow it. But what if, by some cruel injustice, your Alzheimer's affects your ability to process that eating or digestive process? Okay, what if we forget that we need to chew it thoroughly? What if we forget that in order to swallow it, we need to activate some saliva? Sometimes we need to take a sip of water. But what if we forget we need to do certain things in order to promote us actually swallowing and digesting, ultimately digesting that food? Well, then we can have some serious problems. Okay? And so oftentimes what happens is one of the telltale signs for an Alzheimer inflicted person, one of the telltale signs is that they're nearing the end of the road, is they're having a problem swallowing their food. They're having a problem keeping that food down. They may start to choke. In my mom's case, you may see it to where they go to swallow the food and the food just dribbles back out of their mouth. And that could be solid food. It could also be liquids. Because I know at one point I actually went with the protein shakes just to try to keep my mom's protein level where it needed to be. And she was in pretty bad shape at one point to where even the protein shakes, not only did she not have a desire to drink them, but when I would encourage her to drink them, it would just dribble right back out her mouth. She would hold it in her mouth and then it would dribble right back out. The processing, the mental processing just wasn't there anymore. And so what we try to do is we want to try to slow that process. I don't want to get to where she can't eat her food because the writing will be on the wall. You know, whether I like it or not, which of course I would not like, no one would like that, to get to the end of the road and to know that your parent is at the end of the road. But I want to slow down. I don't want to get there quickly. I've been blessed to have 10 years with my mom since she was diagnosed with that Alzheimer's. That's a long time. And so now what I want to talk to you guys about on future videos is how do we slow down that Alzheimer's progression in our loved one? How do we slow it down? Because we're not going to be able to stop it. You can accept that now or you can accept it later. You're not going to be able to stop that process. So our question is, how do we slow it down? Allow that process to move slowly so we can enjoy more time with that loved one. All right, so we'll get into that subsequent video. But for now, please like, please subscribe, and leave me some comments. But no complaints.